Okay, this is my video about the throttle position sensor on the Hiace. So this is it, 2000 long wheelbase. That's Narrabeen Lagoon, just parked here for the week, but anyway, I'll get into it. So this is what I scratched down about the 4 wires. So a normal TPS has 3 wires, and it will have constant and a variable and earth. So yeah, 3 wires. And on these ones where you see 4 wires, the extra wire is the idle switch. So that one, as soon as you take your foot off the accelerator completely, it will read 0 volts, and as soon as you touch the accelerator it goes to 12 volts. So it's like an on and off, it's either on or off. So on an aftermarket throttle position sensor, it has the 4, but when you put a multimeter on this third one, it actually doesn't go from 0 to 12 volts. It just stays on 12 volts. So that means the ECU is not getting that information. So it means that they're bodgy. So I've got my old throttle body here. So this is an aftermarket sensor. This is what they look like. So if you've got one of these, you're most likely not getting that switching mechanism as you're supposed to. So I bought that chasing issues, but now I've put the original factory one back on, the Toyota one, which I would recommend doing. So all you have to do, get a multimeter. So you don't even need to take this off and probe. I'll just tell you what the wires are, and you can work it out yourself like this. So you get a multimeter. So the first thing you need to know whenever you're looking at any TPS is finding out which one's the constant power. So it's getting constant, and it's 5 volts for some reason. One of the wires is constant power, so you need to find out which one that is. So turn the multimeter to this. That's 12 volts, not the wavy one. You want this one. Alright, and that nut there is a good ground. I've got a clamp style on the negative, but if you've only got these probe ones, you can loosen that nut and stick the probe under it and tighten it on it or something like that. But alright, so when you get this, you want to range it. So press it until you've got 0.00. That'll give you a full number into 2 decimal places. And you can see it's measuring volts, and that says DC just there. Alright, so now in the back of this, I've pulled the hose off here because it's in the way, otherwise it goes across here. Big hose, and you just pull it off. Put the leads over to the side. That'll give you space to get this in here. So I'm going to stick this down here. There's a bit of plastic broken off here. It doesn't matter. But that's, so you get your probe and push it down in there, all the way in. So you got to push it a decent way in. Oh yeah, before you do that, you have to turn the sorry, you have to turn the ignition to on, so all the lights are on, like this. So you've got accessories, and then you've got on, so all these lights are on, like that. That's how you want it. So the next turn will start it, so just before that. So that's jammed in there. You can see 4.96 volts. So that's how I know that's the constant power. So we know that. We don't need. So the top one is the constant power. The wires are stacked vertically. Alright. So the next one, I'll stick in there. Sorry about the camera work. And you'll see it's 0.5 like that. Now when I turn this, all I'll be doing is this, turning the throttle all the way slowly, and this is what happens. Okay, to fully open throttle. So it's that's the variable. That's how you know that's the variable one. So that's when you're pressing the accelerator, the ECE knows supply more fuel. I think that's how it works. So the third one, I'll go into the third one. Get in there. Alright, so it's naught, so I'm in the third one down. This is the switch. So as soon as I go just even a bit with the accelerator, it goes from 0 volts to 12 volts. Off, on. There's no variable voltage like with the other one. It's on or off. So when you have the aftermarket one on, this always says 12. So the ECU thinks that you're always on the accelerator. It thinks you're always doing this because it never gets the zero signal. It just always has 12 volts coming. So that's basically it. When you set, if you play around, you've got to loosen this screw and this screw, and you've got to have it, this probe in the third one like I have now, and you've got to turn it, this sensor, so that it, as soon as it goes to zero, you'll get to a point where you're just moving it slightly and it'll turn from 0 to 12. So you want it to say 0 when you tighten it like this, but only just. So you want it so as soon as you touch this, it immediately goes to 12. It's like, otherwise when you drive, it does this weird, like you're lightly touching the accelerator and it's just completely off. It's like the car's missing, sort of. It's weird. So you might have to play with it, go for a drive, and you'll realise, oh no, it's not quite right. So, but that's what I did. But that's why the aftermarket ones don't work. And that was brought to my attention by someone else. I think it's from the Toyota Hiace technical page, and he demonstrated it. That's why I had that in my head when I was checking this out, because I had high revs after I had the gasket done and I couldn't work it out, so I started playing with these. I thought I'll put the factory one on and set it properly, and that sorted everything out. Now I can turn this, I can actually use this adjuster for the idle, because I had it all the way down and the revs was still too high. But now that I've got this sorted, I can turn this up. So that's the air for the idle. So now I've got some adjustability with the idle. You'll notice too, when you turn on and you've got the automatic choke, whatever it's called, that adjusts how high the revs are on that. So you do need that to be adjustable. I think that's everything.